everyone, I'm Dr. Funke Apalabi Brown. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the holidays and how it impacts our children's sleep. This is a season where there's so much going on, family coming over or traveling, sometimes across several time zones. It's my favorite time of the year, Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that. And it's just a time to connect with family and be with the ones we love. And also sometimes, this may be the time that your family gets to meet your children, or if you have a baby and things like that. The one thing though is, how does that affect your child's sleep? I was at a family event a few weeks ago, and it was a great reunion, and I had, we had little kids there, and I could just tell with all the excitement, they had a hard time with sleeping. They had a hard time with winding down. And I would just love to walk you through some tips on how to improve your child's sleep and how to prioritize you and your child's sleep even during the holiday season. First of all, let's talk about what could change with your child's sleep during the holidays. One thing is their schedule could change. Infants and young children may not be able to take naps as they should because either the environment is different, there's so much going on. Naps could get skipped altogether or be shorter or be disrupted. So that's one. The second thing is their sleep quality may be affected because they're in a different sleep environment. For instance, if you're traveling and you are at a hotel or at a family's place, they don't have their crib, right? They don't have the same structure that they used to. And sometimes that transition is often difficult. Also, with parties and entertaining and things like that, the schedule could be different. So that's another change that you could notice in your child with their sleep. Then another one is time zone differences. So with the difference in time zone, depending on where you're traveling to, this can be a huge disruptor for children's sleep. So then now we know that your child's sleep can get disrupted and can make them more tired, more cranky during the holidays. How can we make sure we're prioritizing our children's sleep, and how can we make sure that we're taking advantage of whatever we have to make sure that everyone has a good time during the holidays? The first thing I would say is try to be as creative as you can in maintaining a routine. So again, there's so much change. The new people, the new faces, there's a lot of activity going on. One thing that you could try to replicate as much as possible is your child's routine. Now, this may be a shorter routine. For instance, if you're in a place that's not really familiar, it could be that you make sure that there's a bath involved and reading a book, something as simple as that. So it doesn't have to be this long, convoluted routine, but something that's familiar where they know that, okay, this is something I know I can anticipate that sleep is coming. The next thing I would say is definitely try to create opportunities for naps. That may be hard. It may mean that you kind of minimize the activities that your child is going to engage in. And it may mean that they may not necessarily take a full nap. They may just have some time for some downtime. And that would benefit you as mom as well as your child. So create that downtime. Plan it ahead. It's not just gonna happen, because as you look at the schedule for the day, for instance, there's so much going on. Try to carve out some time to say, we're gonna just take a nap now, or just sit or just lay and just be. And that's really, really helpful. The other thing that I would say is, especially if you're traveling, so that's the third thing, if you're traveling, to try to bring things that are familiar for your child. So again, especially when they're in a different environment, it's a different bed, it's a different room, try to find things that you could bring along. So either a stuffed animal that they love, old PJs that they're familiar with. Some people even take the bed sheets unwashed, so the smell is similar or familiar. And so those are some things you could bring. If they use a sound machine, I would definitely encourage trying to bring one. If you have one that's portable that you could bring, and the reason why that would be beneficial is if they already sleep with a sound machine, then you want that to be present when they're sleeping. And if you're in a house that's really busy, there's lots of adults, there's a lot of noise, using that sound machine will help them to mask that noise and hopefully help them to transition and sleep better. One other thing I would say is, especially in a situation where you're going to be sleeping in the same room and at home you don't necessarily, your child has their own room, is to see if you can create their own sleep station. So either you're bringing in a pack and play or something that they can know that this is my area. Of course, in a situation where, they're in a different environment, they may be scared and may not want to sleep in that pack and play. They may want to sleep with you. I would say give yourself grace. Don't push it too hard. If you need to bring them into bed with you, if you can bring the pack and play close to your bed, that would be great. But if that doesn't work and you need to bring them into bed with you, it's okay. It's okay. It's a temporary thing. Just make sure that once you get back home, you try to go back to what you've always done. And so these are just a few tips about how we can help our children and how we can prioritize sleep. These are just some tips about how we can help our children and ourselves prioritize sleep during the holidays. I hope this has been helpful, and I would love it if you like this video, if you comment, and if you share the content with people in your circle. Most importantly, do subscribe to my channel so that way once new content comes out, you would be the first to know. Until next time, I hope you rest well.